Hello, I'm Tony Trongone, Superintendent, Millville Public Schools, and I'm here with an update regarding our school scheduling. And I'm here with our Executive Director for Special Services, Mr. Stephen Matoush. How you doing, Steve?
How you doing, Mr. Trongone? Thanks for the opportunity to speak with you today regarding our students with disabilities and our special programs.
All right, so I have a couple slides I'm going to go through, and then I'm going to need you to talk us through a couple more midway through. So in today's episode, we'll talk about our COVID update and regarding the data, a reminder to keep practicing prevention strategies, our school calendar regarding election day and parent conferences in November, and then a change in scheduling for students with disabilities. So as far as the data regarding COVID, we're still in what the state of New Jersey calls in yellow or moderate mode. And as you can see, I'll keep that there. You'll see that the Southeast region, which is Cumberland County, Cape May County, Atlantic County, we are the lowest right now in the state regarding all the data as it relates to COVID. But also we mine down deeper, and there's the website covidactnow.org, and we look at the counties, and you can see that right now when you listen to the news, you see that there has been some spikes in parts of the state, and you can see Essex County is rather high at that rate, and you can see that Cumberland County, which we live in, is actually 19th out of 21 counties. So we're relatively low. We're always going to maintain safeguarding the health and safety of our kids and our staff, but we have to look at that data every day, multiple times a day, but every day. And also I mentioned that multi-layered prevention strategy to reduce the risk of COVID. So we're not going to stop that. We're going to be relentless with that. And so the first part would be wearing our masks. We're going to be wearing our masks. We're going to make sure we're going to be 6 feet apart. We're going to reduce the occupancy and also work on ventilation. So today we're going to talk about that. We're going to maintain social distancing. So as a rule, we can fit for most classrooms 12 students and maintain social distance with a teacher in the room. And then ventilation, we also are working, well, we worked on that, but we're actually going above and beyond by getting each room their own HEPA 13 filtering device to make sure we filter the air out. And that should be in every classroom by within 2 weeks. And hand washing, that's a staple of what we have to do every day now for everyone in the school district, and you should be doing it at home too, making sure we have good hygiene and washing our hands. And then our custodians and maintenance, and even myself, I have a meeting in my office, I'm cleaning the table in between meetings, making sure that everything as far as disinfected and making sure I'm not a carrier or a spreader of anything, just in case, although I've been tested 2 times and they've been negative. Now for the calendar for November. So for November, this is the week right now, we're in the week of October 26th, and today is October 30th, where it's a blue day. And I want to bring to your attention that on November 3rd, Tuesday, that will be a remote day. So no in-person instruction on Tuesday. Everyone will remain home, although instruction will take place online. And that has been communicated by the buildings, each principal. And then the rest of the remainder part of the November, we have parent conferences. So on November 20th, the 23rd and 24th, they are early dismissal days. So you can see that the one day is a blue day, and that'll be an early dismissal day, and we'll have conferences in the afternoon. And then on the 23rd and 24th, they are orange days, and they will be, well, one's in orange and one's in blue, pardon me. And they'll be early dismissal, and the conferences will be held at night, virtually. And then finally, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving is an early dismissal day, but it's also a remote day. So again, I want to be clear, the 20th, the 23rd, and 24th will be early dismissal days, and the conferences will take place virtually, parents with their teachers. And again, the building principals will have communicated that. Moving forward, why I have Mr. Matoush here, we want to talk about what's going to happen on November 16th. And so, Mr. Matoush, you can lead us on, like the slide says, social distance guidelines and current schedule compared to the new schedule to students with disabilities. So this is a classroom,
Mhm.
and I see here their students.
Mhm.
And is that the current reality?
Yeah, so let me just start with that. Currently, we have roughly the numbers fluctuate throughout the district from pre-K through 12, but our numbers are very low in our classrooms and the blue and the hybrid model, since we have a lot of students that are all virtual.
Mhm.
So we have been looking at since August when we received guidance from the state, and then we made the determination we're going to open in October, of how we can start looking at ways of getting some of our special needs students in more days than 2. So as we have opened over the last couple of weeks, we realized that due to our classroom capacity, that there was that room for students to socially distance, wearing masks where they could safely come back to school more days a week.
So right now, there are about 6 kids in a typical class, right?
Correct.
And then on a blue day, 6 kids,
Yep.
6 different kids, right?
And that would even be max. A lot of ours have 1 or 2.
Oh, okay. And then your proposal would be to,
Yep. To combine the orange and the blue days, where they would go all 4 days together in one single cohort. And the process was, like I said, we've been planning on this change since August. We consulted with everyone throughout the district. I'd like to commend our teachers, our paraprofessionals, our child study team, building principals and administration, because this was a collaborative approach to how we could do this. We wanted to bring our children in for more days than the 2 because of their needs, but we wanted to do it safely. So in collaboration with everyone that I outlined, we took each school and each program to see if we could safely bring those students back 4 days a week.
okay. So the next slide, I have more information, like I think of a parent. This will begin when?
It'll begin on Monday, November 16th.
And I do have that date, but then I think it depends upon how old my child is. So preschool?
Yeah, so the groups that we're going to be bringing back, every family should have been consulted at this point by the child study team. Families should have been contacted. We have an official letter going out from my office next week that'll be outlining the process. But at the preschool, we're looking to bring back all students at the preschool that are identified as students with disabilities. We're also bringing back all of our students in self-contained classes, K through 12, and as you can see here, the K through 5 program, along with any student that has a one-to-one paraprofessional. In grades 6 through 12, we're bringing back the same groups of students, our self-contained classes, our students with one-to-ones, but we're also have the ability to bring back students that are in resource rooms that have 3 or more resource rooms during the day. That was something that we weren't originally planning, but after looking at it and talking to teachers who overwhelmingly want their students in 4 days a week, the paras, the CST, we looked at, we could do that because we had enough room to socially distance to bring those students back. So once again, it was a collaborative approach. Everyone's on board from the teachers to the principals to make this happen.
Okay, good. So I'm going to go a little further here now. Oh, yeah. And again, that's 4 days a week.
Correct.
And then what happens on that Monday, on that Wednesday?
So the Wednesday would be a full remote day as well for those students.
So those students will be in on special ed students will be in on orange and blue days then.
Correct.
Okay, and I have that there. And again, I think you answered some of these questions I had for you. So, but how many students? We have about 5,000 students in the district. So how many students is this impacting in regard to having them come back to 4 days a week?
So this would currently impact roughly about 250 students in the district. Like I said, we're looking to see how we can expand that, but at this point in time, we can bring those students in safely to meet their academic and social emotional needs, but we also got to make sure that students come in safe. So those 250 students would meet all CDC guidelines and Department of Health and part of our reopening plan on how we provide instruction during this time.
So which schools will be impacted?
So it would impact all the school. If your son or daughter has a one-to-one aide, obviously that could be anywhere throughout the district, but primarily it's in effect every school except Mount Pleasant and Bacon, since we don't have any of our specialized classes in those schools.
Okay. And again, I just want to reiterate, I know you said it, but I want to say it again because I'm a
Correct.
teacher, I like to repeat
Yep.
things, so sorry.
Yep, so November 16th, like I said, a letter will be coming out from my office next week. Every family will receive a letter. You should have already been in contact with the child study team. So this has been a work in process with many people.
And again, I guess you're ahead of me here, because
Yeah.
I've asked you questions, so it's communicated
Yeah.
verbally through the child study team already?
Yep,
And then also a letter's going
Yep.
home?
on Monday.
And then how about staff?
Yeah, so the staff actually were involved in, like I said, in the collaborative process. The child study team had been in communication. I've also been in contact with the teachers and the paras in the buildings. Spoke with the principals, and so this has been a very collaborative process from the ground up. And like I said, I'd like to commend everyone for their efforts to make this happen for our kids and families that need these services.
And then you talked about this again, and we notified the county Department of Health.
Yeah, and I appreciate you with your efforts in communicating with the Department of Health. I know you're in constant contact with them to make sure that this met their guidelines. So I know you reviewed that with the county board to let them know of our proposal. And I know that you said based on the way that we're implementing this change for 4 days a week, that it does meet their guidelines.
But one thing, when you talk to the Department of Health and talk to Megan Shepard from the Cumberland County Department of Health, she made it real simple for us, because she said, well, you're not extending beyond the social distancing, so you can fit 12 kids in a class. Mm-hmm. And she says, well, you really didn't have to notify me, but I appreciate you doing that. And so that's what you're doing, more or less, right? We were having less than what we could have under the current guidelines.
Yep, every child will still be required to wear a mask and we maintain 6 feet of distance during instruction time.
So this isn't a waiver. We're just having more kids in because we can.
Because we realized after being open for 3 weeks, we did have the availability to bring them back.
Gotcha. I think that's what the parents need to know, that this isn't, I don't think it's a reach. Although, again, I have questions that you can ask us, you can give us a call. And if you have any questions to Mr. Matus's office, but also the fact that this is subject to change, we're going to look at the data as it's presented to us by week and make sure that we keep our kids safe, keep our staff safe. But in this instance, with our special ed population, because again, I'm just repeating what Mr. Matus said, that you had few kids in a class, but together we're still below that.
Yep.
Example of 12 in a class.
Yep. We're really excited for this opportunity for students and their families. I know the child study team, teachers, paras, and building administrators, principals are all thrilled for this opportunity.
And also, I think what people say anecdotally is our kids need it.
Yep.
Talking to somebody, we're talking to a community member just now, you and I, and they say, you know what, this particular group of kids needs it.
Yep.
So I think we're trying to reach out to our families and make sure that we have this available to them. Again, for the fourth time, maintaining our CDC and state guidelines in regard to social distancing and wearing masks. So again, that number's good.
Yep, that's that number there is the Office of Special Services. You can give us a call there if you have any questions.
All right. You can see we have someone doing their best, reaching out, and it's my job just to help facilitate that. So I want to appreciate that effort and your passion for Millville Public Schools, but for the kids in Millville too.
Yeah. Thank you again for obviously your support. I know the Board of Ed has been very supportive of this. They've also been briefed on our our moves to make this change. So a lot of moving parts during this time in education, and you need a team, and the whole team pulled together to make this happen.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Again, any questions about this, you can call 856-327-6016. And this is Tony Trungo, Superintendent of Millville Public Schools, along with our Executive Director for Special Services, Steve Matus. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Thank you.